Yeah, I was 19, just about to turn 20, and I was supposed to go to. Back in the day, it wasn't a draft. You signed. It was a C form, I think it was called, and so there was no draft. So I signed. I had like quite a few of the teams wanting me to sign. I signed with Chicago Blackhawks, and then I went and played for their farm team there in Moose Jaw, and then I ended up playing with the Oil Kings after Moose Jaw folded, actually. So my dad passed away, and I was going to go to camp, and my mom said, "You can't leave. We don't have any money. There's a mortgage on the house. There's payments on the car," and my mom had never worked. And my dad he sold furniture, right? And then he had a little tiny furniture spot where he had furniture. And she said, "Well, you got to sell the business." Well, there really was no business to sell. So I found two guys that would buy half of it. And Tiny Thompson was the general manager or the head scout of the Chicago Blackhawks. He kept calling me, "Why aren't you here? Why aren't you here?" And I had to explain to him, and he still couldn't figure out why I wouldn't go to the, Chicago. But we were a little bit of, desperate. And I found two guys that had a really bad location, and they couldn't rent it out. And they said, "We will buy half if you buy half." And so it wasn't very much. It was like, I think 20 grand total. And they said, "You have to put up half." And I said, "Well, he said, "How much money you have?" I got that used car. It's about $400, right? And they went, "Okay, well, we'll sign at the bank." And they co-signed for me. So I still owed half. And then I started a Midnight Madness, which was crazy. I was 19 years old. I had 1,000 people outside trying to get in. And I didn't even know what it was crazy times. And so then I wanted to expand. I had a old Safeway store that I found, and they didn't want to expand because so they bought me out for $8,000, and $16,000, and I still owed the bank $8,000. So I started Bill Comrie Furniture with $8,000, and then we moved to the brick building and called it Comrie's Big Brick Warehouse, and then it became the brick.